Hi guys, welcome to the Be Encouraged Show with Frank
and Lisa.
We are so glad that you would be with us on Motivation Monday today because we're motivated. You motivated?
I'm totally motivated. And we're healthy this week. Oh my gosh, we had
what a novel idea, huh? Yeah. Wow, this girl was really sick.
Yeah, I got slammed. Yeah. I didn't get out of bed till like Friday afternoon.
Took her out all week.
I did the show, left here, went to bed, never left. Yeah, but now I'm good. So.
I'm glad your husband loves you.
I know.
He's so takes care of you. Yeah, so welcome to the Be Encouraged Show with Frank and Lisa today. We're based here in Colorado Springs and we specialize in keynote speaking, emceeing, and facilitating sessions on diversity and leadership development for a global audience. We're passionate about helping professionals maximize their potential and fostering resilience.
Yes, my favorite word.
Your favorite word. Adaptive organizational cultures and small to mid-sized businesses worldwide. Also, welcome once again to the Be Encouraged Show, where we provide a platform for entrepreneurs and community-focused individuals to expand their reach and create a positive impact in the Colorado Springs community and beyond.
Yes. And of course, we have to spotlight our sponsors. Today's episode is brought to you by our platinum sponsor, Joshua Aguirre, who's still out in paradise enjoying the brand new niece. His niece was birthed the other day. Super cute. Yes, adorable. And his company, Cressio, they offer pay what you can consultations to underprivileged entrepreneurs in Colorado Springs, and they teach people how to leverage ChatGPT for their business. So visit them at Cressio.com to learn more.
Yes.
And also, if you want to get more leads for your business, I mean, do you?
Do you?
Obviously.
Yes.
That's the thing. So you can go ahead and visit us at beencouraged.net to become a sponsor and get your business name out there to our growing audience, which now I believe we're almost at 50,000 reaching, growing. Super excited about that. And with our live Instagrams going around the world too, it's growing even faster. And also our platinum sponsor has seen an aggressive 900% growth in their business in just 7 months. So please like and follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn to join us on our journey to extend hope and encouragement and help people realize their potential through networking, collaboration, and community involvement.
Oh, yes. All of that, yes. We have 3 incredible gentlemen in the studio with us today.
Yes.
I've been waiting for this show, guys.
Yes.
So, no pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure. We're just here to hang out with you.
Yeah.
No pressure whatsoever.
Triple book launch.
Triple book launch. Yes, indeed. I'm like halfway through Anti-Burnout already.
Are you?
I am,
His first.
You did?
I'm in yours. I'm all in the fire night.
We just leave you hanging. Then we're
Sorry.
Yeah,
don't take it personally.
Someday you'll get the job.
Yeah, we're building up to that amazing one.
Yeah, grand finale. Yes.
Anyway, to my right is Alan Briggs. I'd heard about this guy years before I actually got a chance to meet him.
Same with you, man.
Yeah, and the movement that he's making in community. He helps leaders to get healthy and create healthy cultures through leadership coaching, sabbatical coaching, and writing. Welcome, Alan.
Thanks.
Indeed, and we have Burke Atkerson right here.
Yes.
Yeah, you look like that name, brother.
Yeah, it's
You
a
got that
strange
rolling,
name,
brother.
so I'll
Isn't
take
it? I didn't mean you were strange.
I'll take it.
I'll let you self-describe, though, right?
He's got the artist look.
Thank you.
Yeah. Artist/professional, business entrepreneur.
But not too professional.
Yeah, not too. That's where the hair comes in. Yes.
All right. Matter of fact, we're glad some hair came in.
Yeah.
All right. So
Hey, my beard. Come on. I got
anyway, Burke is helping investors build their portfolio and maximize taxes with real estate, safe, passive, multifamily investments, and turnkey fix and flips. Welcome.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Well, a lot but needed.
Some would say too much, but yeah.
In Park Hill, Colorado's finest,
Yes.
Johnny
Born and
Levy is here as well. helping motivated, humble professionals and companies discover their superpowers and collaborate for huge wins.
Awesome.
Ah, your
You
turn.
resonate with that?
So-
I'm resonating, yes.
All right. I have a lot of questions, but we have to start with you because you're our panel host.
Oh, man.
So Alan, unpack yourself a little bit, share where'd you grow up, who are you as a human?
Yeah, I grew up in the South, but I never fit there. At 15, I wanted to come to Colorado.
We're in the South.
Yeah, when you say south.
Yes,
right?
That's
Virginia.
Oh,
North
Virginia.
Carolina.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
favorite barbecue is North Carolina barbecue.
Right.
there.
So
So
good.
I'm grateful for where I've come from, but I never fit there. When I was 15 years old, I visited Colorado, and I didn't know anything at 15, but I knew I was going to live here. And so that was one of those moments where I was like, whatever I need to do after college to get my way out to Colorado, I will get there. And so sure enough, I found my way coming out here, single and grateful for it, but I've always been an adventurer.
Yeah.
And so I came out here with, I think, $400 in my pocket. I got here, gas was cheaper then. I think I got here with $200. And I was like, I have arrived.
Yeah.
And I hope to be buried here. I love this city. And I've fallen in love with this community. It wasn't always what it is now. Our downtown wasn't always what it is now. Our community, connectedness, collaboration, all those great words were not what it is now. But I think there were enough of us who were saying someday what could be, instead of going off somewhere else where the wheels were already turning, some cooler city somewhere else. What if we just made this place great? And it's been a beautiful process to watch that happen, and to be able to get to work with leaders. I sit at the intersection of a couple of different epidemics that I'm very burdened by. The loneliness epidemic, particularly for men, that Burke writes so much into. We have a lot of overlap there, and the burnout epidemic. And so also the mental health epidemic. I'm not a mental health professional in that space. I'm a big fan of people with letters after their names, but I get to sit as a leadership coach that gets to help people push really against burnout. This was the heart of my book, Anti-Burnout. What if we could create systems that were actually pushing us toward health instead of toward burnout? And so that's what I'm preoccupied with, and that's what I get to serve as a leadership coach. All the podcast content, videos, anything we produce, we're committed to be about healthy leadership so that we can create healthy cultures.
So are your parents out in Virginia still? Are they
No.
still alive? Or
No, they moved away and suddenly started moving west
Oh, good.
at different times. So our family's actually across the country now, and so I love visiting other places, but I don't know about you guys. Every time I visit, I love being away, but I really love coming back, and I have this gratitude for living here.
Yeah,
Right on.
it's my joint, man.
Yeah.
I tell you, yes, indeed. Glad to find a kindred spirit. Right.
Yeah.
How many years have you been out here now?
Man, going on 20 years.
Going on
Which
20?
is wild. This will be my 20th year.
Yeah, yeah, half as much as me. But you're half my age too.
Yeah.
So
Some-
it figures.
it's- I'm probably half as talented, half as charismatic, so yeah, I'm half of Frank, that's all. But
Oh my.
Which is twice as much as what we could hope for.
there's so many percentages,
Goodness.
which is 10% as much as Lisa, so I mean, all right.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, we max out with Senate, that's for sure. Johnny, give us a little bit of background and history about you, my friend.
Born and raised in Denver, in an area called Park Hill, lower income area where I grew up, and then just had a journey trying to find out my worth and my value. And so it's a big part of my mission is helping people understand their superpower. That's the driving force behind the book. But I grew up in Denver, and then had a journey through becoming a husband and a father, and was a pastor for a while, and so now I'm a businessman and a supporter of many, I hope, and that's a lot of my story up to this point.
Mm. Yeah, so you said trying to find your value and who you were as a human. Well, how did you know that you needed that? I mean, was there some diminishment of whom you were as a human coming up that made this journey possible, or even that you thought of doing it?
Man, you're like, you asked good questions.
That's
That's the question.
Healing
It's
back.
what we do.
He's like, well, that's the guy talking about. So that's the question that we're still. So for me, growing up, I had a very strong sense of being unworthy and incapable. And so, and I think that's just a lot of the people in my neighborhood, we just didn't think we were gonna amount to anything. We really didn't. Like true, like I know what it feels like to like actually have that going on in your brain. And so my life has kind of surprised me in a lot of ways, because you know, there have been these moments where key people have invested in me, which is what it took, right? That proximity with other people. You can't really know that there's more outside of your current experience unless somebody holds you by the hand and leads you into a different experience.
Right.
And so I had key moments in my life where that happened for me. And it became a passion for me to basically try to duplicate that for other people. Because I know what it feels like to feel like, okay, I don't have any gifts, or the gifts that I have aren't the right currency for, you know, for my environment. And the disconnect and the hopelessness that creates, and the discouragement and the depression even that creates.
Yes.
And I think a lot of that is unnecessary because it has so much to do with the lies that we believe about ourselves. And the lie that I'm going after, probably most of all, is I don't have a superpower, or I don't have a gift, or you know, I'm less than everybody else. Like I want to punch that in the face real hard if I can. And so that's what this Superpower Quest book is about. Is helping people. It's a framework for accelerating the discovery process, right? So helping people because you know, like self-awareness is great to say the word, but who really knows how to do that?
Right.
I didn't know how to do that.
Well, Daniel Goleman does.
Well, great.
Good for him.
Yeah. So I'm looking for a simple, intuitive way. It's a simple, intuitive way to help people, to walk people, to guide people through that journey to understanding their superpowers so that they can unlock that, begin to push into that, but then also embrace the weakness, and that's a big one for me too.
So do you have siblings?
I do, yeah. Let's go back to practical stuff too. Yeah, so I have 2 brothers.
Okay, right on. And are your parents still alive up in Denver?
Parents are still alive. They're divorced, so my mom is in Bisbee, Arizona, and my dad is in Denver, Colorado.
Did that happen when you were an adult or as a child?
As a child, it happened. Well, I was probably 15.
I was
13
15.
happened. 13.
Yeah, when my parents split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, from the hood, like you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There wasn't a kid, I believe, that played at Gonzaga that was from Park Hill, right? Yeah.
Chauncey Billups is from around my neighborhood.
He's from around, but this is much more recent.
A
guy at Gonzaga. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I'd love to tell you that I knew.
You probably already did.
I have one more question before we move on. Okay, so your siblings, are you close with them?
Oh man, that's a tough question to answer on air. I would say that I love my brothers.
Yeah.
We are locationally, you know, not in the same place. When we get together, it's great, but we also don't see each other too much.
Yeah. But you guys are tight. And
yes, we've been through a lot together, so yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, you feel better?
Yep, I was just curious.
Swing it, get that
in there.
This is going hard in the pen.
You're talking, because you're talking superpower, so, you know, when you bring it home, like amongst your kinfolk, that's different than to the masses, right? So that's why I was just curious on that.
Absolutely.
A lot of this happens though post that upbringing, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of this, so really we're even processing through that.
Yeah.
You know, like my brothers are learning about my journey through my book.
That's awesome.
That is so cool.
Which will bring you guys closer together.
Yeah.
What are your superpowers, man?
Oh, dude, y'all are so kind. Okay.
Wait a minute, don't answer that question.
Yeah,
First of
pause.
all, our show. Just in case you feel like breaking in again, right?
And we're short on time, so we started late. Not our fault.
Hold that thought.
Love you, Alan.
Yeah, we'll get back to you because you such fascinating content talking about your life and your journey. I'm a recovering pastor as well, so I know that part of the journey. I think you and I met a long time ago. I had a conversation around that as well. So I'm glad to see how you're moving forward in who Johnny Levy really is.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah.
It's good work.
Yes, my man, Burke.
Yes.
You know,
This is so fun hanging out with you guys. Thank you again for the invite. This is awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the way I'm gonna ask whatever your first question is I'm gonna answer what his superpowers are.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. It's devolving fast.
Oh my goodness.
You know, I heard when we were at the gather meeting
Yeah.
with these three gentlemen, you know, what really struck a chord with me about you was the vulnerability and the transparency right out of the gate.
Right out the gate,
Yeah.
first thing you said.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, it did.
Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember.
Tell him.
What was it?
Your marriage.
Yes. Yes.
And I was like, yes, this is a man I love already.
Yes, like you said, it's so hard for us to pull that out
Out
in
of
the
people,
show,
yeah.
and that's what we're trying to do, is really
Yep.
divulge who are you
Yes.
and
Yeah.
your journey in life. And
Mm.
because that's where people start to really respect and honor you as a human, and then they're curious and
Yeah.
want to read your book,
Yeah.
right?
And it's the connectors.
right.
Yeah.
And it's the connecting
Right.
point
Yes,
of
it
humanity,
is,
right?
yes.
Yeah, so share with us, brother.
Oh, well, I don't know where to start. Like an early childhood?
Yeah,
or-
start from the beginning, where are you from?
Well, it all started in the back of it. No, I was.
No, that was my story.
So I'm from West Texas. I'm from the desert in the middle of
Oh,
nowhere.
Texas.
Graduated with 34 other people in high school, and
Yeah.
we moved around a bit as a kid, so I never really felt like I fit in. For a while, I lived in a place where it was, 3 or 4% white, and so I was a minority, which is very different from your experience. But
I can relate to
I
that.
never felt like an insider.
I grew up in Oakland, so
Oh,
I grew up in the hood,
Yes.
which no one knows.
Yes.
But yes.
Everyone knows now.
It's out. Yes,
I feel you, yes,
we get it.
yes,
But
totally. But no one
somebody-
talks about that.
No, so with that, I just never felt like an insider growing up.
Yeah.
I always felt like I was an observer rather than a participator. And I always kind of longed for that belonging. And I still don't know if I've experienced it much. In the process, I kind of pushed men away and I over-attached with women, right? And so it created an addictive greenhouse effect in my relationships where I needed healthy intimacy here, but I pushed it away. And I overcompensated over here with
What was
women.
the genesis of that? Why were you pushing men away?
I think it had to do with, my parents loved me well,
Okay,
and they did the best they could with the resources, right?
absolutely.
But at the same time, my father wasn't emotionally available, and I think that was
Is he a workaholic
the
or?
crux of all of it. My mother was overly available emotionally,
Overly.
and so it really, the pattern started there.
Okay.
And it's been the last 6 years where, let me step back. So, raised in West Texas, went to university at North Texas in Dallas, or Denton, Texas, and then we went overseas with the Navigators.
Oh,
We were with them for
That's
so you were
10
raised
years.
in a Christian family?
Christian family, first generation believers.
Okay.
Yep, and they moved away from structural property to Texas.
Oh.
So I'm grateful that they made that change because
Yes.
we would have been, we have family members who died from heroin overdoses and trailer parks. Like that's our heritage.
Yes.
And so I'm grateful for where my parents brought us,
How old
and
were
I'm
you when
grateful
you
that I
left
get to
that?
stand on their shoulders as well.
Yeah.
How old were you when you left that scene in Texas?
Oh man, we left. My parents left that from Arizona
Oh,
to Texas.
Okay.
And then they raised us in a believing family, which was, overly legalistic at the time.
Okay.
And then, right?
Yeah.
First generation,
Yeah.
80s and 90s, what do you
It's
expect,
insane,
right?
Where they gave the church people permission to spank their
Oh, all of
children.
the above, yeah,
it's a thing.
I
yeah.
like that part.
Yeah.
See,
You're not the one
I knew we
to
understood each other.
Like, yeah. I had a Jacari paddle that broke on my leg.
We're live. We'll just edit that part.
Yeah.
Whoop that booty! I said it out loud. That was really in my head, but I
Oh
was.
my goodness.
So I'm gonna interrupt you. We moved to the States 6 years ago to save our marriage, and that's what you were referring
Yes.
to, right?
Yeah.
And it's been a journey. My wife doesn't love the way I word that. she's like, I would tell a different story. She'd say, because what happened is I crossed some lines, and I told her, and I called the navigators, and I said, hey, who do I confess to? And they invited us into a restoration process, and it was the hardest thing and the biggest blessing of our lives. Just reset the trajectory of our marriage and our family.
Praise God.
I have to say one thing, because I just started your book, and when you talked about that piece of lacking friendships with men and then going more to women, for me, as I always got along better with the dudes, like, and they were always my big brothers, they protected me like it was my posse in growing up, and it's even now, I still get along better with men than I do with women.
Yes.
But reading that, I was like, oh, could that be a thing? That is a thing.
It is. I resonate
So I'm
with
just
that
telling you,
story.
that
Yeah.
resonates with me already. I'm really excited digging
Wow.
deeper into the book because I'm reversing roles gender-wise and going, wow.
That's
like,
fascinating.
yeah.
So I'm not, and I hope none of it sounds like an accusation. It's simply
No.
my story.
Oh,
This
no,
is where I'm
totally.
at. Yeah.
But that's what happens when people are
Beautiful.
starting to read that
Yes.
journey, and
Yeah.
I'm going,
Yep.
wow. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's reality, man. That's when we
Yes.
start bringing stuff out. People say, oh, you know, if you want to go me too, there's a lot of dudes shaking their nods going, yeah, me too. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's why it's gonna resonate so well.
Beautiful.
Thanks for answering that question, asking that
Thank you.
question.
It's good.
Woo! And the feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. We're gonna have to do another show when I start yours. You can only come on our show once a year. It's a rule.
So, we have to make an exception for these guys, so
I
it
know.
is our
We are
show.
Hey,
dynamic.
we'll invite you to my show. I'm gonna break all the rules.
Okay.
This is fun. This is fun.
Yes, indeed. So, Alan, I'm gonna ask you a question, my friend. You know, that I've always wanted, I didn't mean to ask this on air. I wanted us to have coffee and
Let's
ask
go.
this, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
Let's go.
You know, all of us have Christian roots, background, I mean, all 5 of us,
Yeah.
right? We come from that space. Where do you see yourself in your connectivity to what we might consider traditional Christianity today? What would you say about that for Alan Briggs?
Also a recovering pastor. But I coach pastors. I love the church. So warts and all, I believe the church is a beautiful thing, right? And we happen to attend a church that is more of a rescue mission that happens to worship.
Yeah, Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Both he and I go there.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Sanctuary.
Dr. E, love you.
I have both felt pain as a religious figure. I have had pain inflicted on me as a religious figure. Some of that my doing, some of that not.
Yes.
But I can separate that from God, who's my father, who's a big fan of me just because I'm his kid.
Yes. Preach it.
And so that is so important for me, especially I could be enmeshed in the church too much because I coach a lot of pastors. My income is partially paid by, some of the larger churches in the country.
Yeah.
But I also believe that she can change. And so there's many who have given up, but for me, I just feel like, man, I have to be in the fight with people who are bringing it. And the church, by the way, isn't just the traditional church.
Yeah.
But I do believe there's still hope for the traditional church. Is there warts and all? Are there plenty of issues? Of course.
Well, it's people.
Yeah.
Right? You see people,
Yeah.
and we see the current state of humanity today, and we haven't done what God's called us to do.
Yeah.
We hadn't been what God's called us to be. And that's why we have this morass.
And it starts here.
Right.
It
Where I can go, hey,
Yeah.
here are the pieces I didn't represent well. And frankly, like a lot of things I get to coach into are around healthy aspects that I wish I would have begun sooner.
Right.
And I realized, like, man, leaders have a high governor, and that, me too.
Well,
I could run hard.
I gotta say something. So when we first went to the Gather, that first time when Chantel Bridges, love you Chantel,
Yeah,
when
she's
she
the
was
best.
speaking, and that was the first time I ever saw you in person.
Yeah.
And I'm a discerner. That's my gifting from God. And when I saw you, I was like, whoa, you were like Angel Gabriel on earth.
She's what?
Whoa.
He is
Angel
like
Gabriel.
Angel Gabriel on earth. Like that's what I
Wow.
powerhouse.
Yeah.
Like
So what did you see? What did you feel?
huge,
I need that.
spiritual, like, whoa. And that's it. I'm just saying,
Wow.
that's what I see in you. We have not had coffee. I've not done a deep dive of you or your
Thanks for
life,
sharing
but
that.
knowing what you just shared, that you're a prior pastor and you pour into other pastors, I'm super not surprised.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
That's
from
beautiful.
Sorry.
I did.
I saw a lot of other great
Because-
things. That was awesome.
Yeah,
That was
'cause I saw
awesome.
that.
I was like, who is that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I was
Thank
like,
you.
wow, because I
Thank you
don't
for that.
see many humans like that. So
Thanks.
it's
And I
an
feel
honor.
deeply called to what I do.
Yes.
Amen.
I feel probably even more called to be a leadership coach who journeys alongside and a connector, and that's something he's phenomenal as well, than I ever did as a pastor, which is weird to
Yeah,
say.
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't done a traditional pastoral role since 1991,
Mm.
and I know.
That's a year after I graduated high school.
Darn,
Right.
darn.
We got jokes.
I know, it's like every time she gets an opportunity to throw one of those things on my age, she does that. I was a young pastor.
Yes, you were,
Just
he
saying.
was young.
He was 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even know about Christ till I was 26.
Yeah.
Yeah, sleeping in the park downtown was when I found out
Wow.
about who
Love
he
that story.
was. Yes.
Which is
yeah.
surprising because you were from the Bible Belt.
I know, but
Yeah.
we never went to church. It wasn't even on our radar. I mean, so yeah, so I never heard the gospel until I was a homeless man in the park. Yeah, so
Wow.
yeah. So Johnny,
Yeah.
man, we getting with him more time
I
with
know,
these
yeah.
guys.
I
Yeah,
know.
we're about to bring you guys back on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Those are your bad points.
It's only up from
Right,
there.
Yeah.
it's only up from there, right? What an awesome conversation. Tell us something that you've had to overcome this year, trying to establish the space that you know that you were designed to be in.
That's an incredible question. So and actually, it's great because the answer to that is writing the book. And I'm going to get into the process of writing the book because since I was young, I wanted to hold my own book in my hands. Like it was the sense of, man, wouldn't it be great to hold my own book in my hands? But I struggle because I am a high level thinker.
Yes.
So in my Superpower Quest framework, there's the dreamer and the connector, which is what I am. I'm a connector dreamer, meaning like I'm great at high level. You know, we meet, we talk for 5 minutes, we're going to be friends. I'm aggressively friendly. And so I'm a connector and a dreamer. Both those are high level gifts, right? So I'm big picture. I've always struggled my entire life with execution and organization. And I've hated that because, right, we value in our culture people that get things done. And so I start things that don't finish. Throughout my life, my wife will tell you, right? It's just been kind of an epidemic for me. And so what I learned through this process, because Alan's the one actually, to your vision, his brother is a powerhouse. He's a catalyst.
Right.
God has gifted him. In my life specifically, I can testify to it. I remember he gifted me a coaching session just because. I don't even know why he did. But
There's the hungriest one in the room, dude.
yeah, I'm hungry. And while we were on the coaching session, he said, you need to write your book, and you need to pick a date, and you need to tell your community that you're writing the book.
Wow.
And I was like, well, scary.
Because the world needs this.
Yeah.
You forgot
Right.
last
Because
time.
the world needs this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that.
But encourage
Throw that in for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah. And so I did that, man. I'll never forget. I posted on LinkedIn, I'm writing this book, it's gonna be done by this day. And I tagged everybody that I knew in the post and said, hold me accountable. And it was scary to do that. It was very scary to do that, but it was exactly what I needed. So I write the book. I write the first draft of the book. And I'll tell our story. I mean, yeah. So I write the first draft of the book, and it's a false peak. If anybody has ever tried to write a book before, or whenever people watching try to write a book, you hit this false peak because you put it took me 9 months. 9 months to write the draft of this book. And when I was done, I was like, I know there's a lot of work that needs to be done still in this book, but I don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? I don't want to edit. Like, I don't want to go back. And it became this pressing, crippling fear. Like, I didn't want to look at it, right? I was trying to figure out how to hire somebody to go in and do everything that I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
And I don't have the money to do that. So I got stuck. And so at that point, I shared that stuck feeling. It had been sitting, in the closet for 3-4 months at that point. And I shared at a Gather event. Gather's been such a catalyst in my life as well. It's an incredible group of people over there. Hungry people, lovely, humble people, generous-hearted people.
Yes.
And so I shared in a group that I was feeling that, and this brother also shared that he was in a similar place and stuck. And so Alan took the opportunity to kind of call us together into a group and sync up our schedules to write our books together and to be on this, right? Like, it was amazing. So I go into the room, I'm discouraged. I feel like, what a fool I am. I wrote a book and I can't do jack with it, so I don't know what to do next.
Yes, right.
Like horrible, feeling.
But you've already written
Stuck.
books, right?
Oh,
So,
yes.
okay, yeah.
But he had already written
Multiple books.
Multiple
Yeah.
books, so that's perfect.
Yeah. So we get in the room and Alan's like, Johnny, you're gonna edit Burke's book. Burke, you're gonna edit Johnny's book. And we were like, yes, we are. That's exactly what we're gonna do, right? And so he got us completely unlocked and on schedule. And so I realized, like, going through this process, I have a lack, and that's okay. Like, I have this lack in the achiever layer of my framework, and I need the leader or the galvanizer. Like, I need that, so I lack that in myself. And so that gift became present through another person, and it makes sense to me now why it worked, right? This is one of the greatest things, like project-based things that I've ever accomplished. Obviously not better than being a father, right?
Right.
But project-based, like, this is actually irregular in my 48 years of being on this earth.
Well, I've heard it's like birthing a baby for a
Yes,
book.
yeah,
Because you have to do a deep dive too. It's not like you're doing a fiction book,
yeah,
right?
exactly right.
I haven't read it, but I'm assuming you've blended in some personal things as well.
Yeah. Now, for my wife's benefit, I'm gonna say it's not comparing with birth. Just so you know, she said that. I didn't say that.
I've
That's one
birthed
thing that a
3
man can't say.
dogs.
She said it.
She said it. But yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's incredibly difficult. But what I understand now is that books don't get written alone. I understand that. The big things that we want to accomplish in life, our problem is we think it's alone. And alone means you're subject to whatever your variety of weakness is, and that's going to define the experience. But, I locked arms with these brothers, encouraged me over the finish line, and it's been joy.
Yes, that is cool. You kind of set the framework for what the value of the work that you've done here has been, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to do the same, my friend. Talk about your book. What is it bringing to humanity? What can we expect from this wonderful labor of love?
Well, first, set your expectations low.
Second,
don't
do it. Sky high.
So, Fire Nights is my response to the loneliness epidemic. Like Gather is your response to the loneliness epidemic and some of the work you do. And the work you do is, this is really about bringing people together and letting them live out of their design.
Yeah.
So a lot of them, there's actually a lot of surprising overlap between the 3 books.
Yeah.
Really surprising. But this comes from my brokenness. It comes from my story, and it comes from my healing journey. So I'm trying to put words to that, but I'm not making it about me. I'm making it about men everywhere need this. Our suicide rates among men is 4 times higher than it is among women. And it was 3 times higher in 2022. It's 4 times higher in 2023. So we don't even have the data out yet for 2024, but it's about 500,000 a year.
It's so hard not to talk.
Yes, what do you,
I'm
what's
sorry,
that
okay,
say?
I
What
was
does
just
it
gonna
say?
say, and he blends the resources that
Yeah.
people need
Yeah.
if they're there during their walk of life.
Yes.
I love that you are blending in all the resources
I
as they're
love
reading
that.
it.
I wanted it to be, yes, I'm telling some of my story, but I really wanted it to be practical.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
So even
totally
the later
practical.
you get in the book, there's some contemplative practices that come up, because those have been key in my healing journey as
Nice.
well. And I'm like, man, everybody needs to be doing this. Everybody needs to know what it means to be in silence and solitude, or you know, centering prayer and learning to just sit in love and return to the Father. Like that, if you
Right?
can't be present to yourself, you can't be present to another.
Yeah, that's
So good.
Right?
That is so good.
So there's one other element to answer your question. The path of least resistance is isolation.
Yes, it is the path of least resistance.
We have to go out of our way. There has to be an effort made towards connection. And this book is that call to action.
Now I'm gonna cheat again
Let's
because
move
I'm
towards
reading the
connection.
book though.
Yes.
So your vision is to take this across the fire nights
Yes.
across the nation.
Yes.
Where are you at on that journey? Have you begun?
There's 2 groups in Denver meeting, and there's 4 here in Colorado Springs plus mine, so 5. So there's just a handful. I want to see 1,000 around the U.S. meeting. I want to see men getting together, and I don't care if it's over a campfire and cigars.
Yeah.
You know, if they have a different model somewhere else, or if they're like, hey, we want to pray, or we want to have a little Bible study, but I don't care. Just be connecting. That's what I really want to be pushing men towards.
I think there's a couple hundred of these groups already. So I think it will less create and more call out.
And why do you think that?
I think people don't know how to name it, and I think he's provided language and story that draws people in and say, yes, that's exactly why we started, but we didn't know. That's the power of words.
Yes.
And that's actually, we're not here to tell our book stories today.
Right.
We're here to tell the power of connection and collaboration is the reason why we got to stand. You guys, thanks for showing up for us. Got to celebrate together. So
100%.
there's hundreds of these groups, you know who you are, that are already hosting these. They don't have language that can hold it. They don't have story behind it to go, yes, we'll go with that guy's story, because that's exactly where it could have been for me. And he was just bold enough to.
Yeah, and I will say this though, there's a difference, you know, for those Christians out there who know what life groups are, you know, everyone knows usually what a life group is.
Yeah.
It's not a life group.
Right. No.
This life
Even though it
groups-
brings life.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so
More
like,
than many life groups.
yeah, and life groups can be very
Totally.
surfacey, right? It's like
Yes.
entering a coffee
Totally.
shop, meeting
Yeah.
with friends,
Totally.
whatever. But his is a magic deep dive into where they are at individually together.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Thank
just
you.
saying, it's
Yeah.
incredible.
I landed
It's
that. So
powerful.
it's
And I
not-
heard about these fire nights, and then I'm reading the book, I'm like, oh my god, this is a fire night guy, because
Yes.
I heard about him.
The guy, here's what I would say. What it looks like, and I'll have a bunch of guys. You are about to be in my backyard for one of these. Hopefully the next one you're gonna go. But what it looks like is toxic masculinity.
Right.
What it is the exact opposite. Where it is gentle care, tears, and so what it might look like is, oh, this is where guys get together and whatever and moan. It's the exact opposite.
Right.
He's set the stage for that as the curator of these.
Yeah. So there's men smoking cigars, drinking whiskey, right? Like it was sitting around a fire. It seems very alpha masculine, right? But then we're in tears. And
Yeah.
I don't think I've been to a fire night where there's not one guy breaking down. And I'm not saying that's the goal, right?
No.
Right.
It's just what happens in the
Right.
setting
Yeah.
where people know they're safe and they're welcome.
Yeah, you
Love
set the stage
Love
for that. Yeah, especially after drinking whiskey.
Yeah.
But it's also, there's several guys in recovery. as
Don't
well.
worry, Frank, you
There's
don't have to
several
drink
guys-
whiskey.
There are. So the guy.
Hey, I'm not coming
What's
down
in
on
this?
drinking whiskey.
LaCroix? Whatever.
The guy
I'm
that
down.
The guy that I started this with 6 years ago, he's 15, 16 years sober now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we drank root beers for years and just smoked pipes.
Yeah.
And then over time, it's, you know, whoever's there, we just want to honor where they're at in their story and invite them deeper into that.
This is what we do at this stage, because we have to wind down.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Oh, man.
Next time, y'all need to arrive early.
Yeah, it's my bad. It's my bad. I receive it.
You need to calm down.
I know.
I'm just saying.
That's so good, and I knew it was gonna be
Lisa
so
just
good.
wants to be invited to fire night. Can you start fire night for ladies?
No, she ain't with the dudes. She wanna be fire night with us.
She's full of dudes and Lisa.
John, you can go.
Yeah.
Right?
So we'll be weird, yes, I'll be fine.
Yeah, we have a camera set up. Where's that set up, Q? Alan
Alan's
first.
first.
Alan, as is our tradition on the show here, we never leave without allowing our guests to infuse some hope and encouragement to our audience. And also tell them how to reach you, how to get your book Anti-Burnout at the same time.
So here's a bit of hope for you. When it looks like everybody around you is divided, cares more about politics than relationships, is burning out or is completely lonely, that is the story that the news loves to tell. But there are plenty of people like you who are fighting a good fight, who are staying healthy. And unhealth cascades, but so does health to all the people around you, starting with your family. It is possible to live and lead without burning out. If you want to grab a copy of Anti-Burnout, just head on over to Amazon and dial in my name, Alan Briggs.
Alan Briggs, Briggs.
Thank you, Alan.
Famous name.
Yes.
Incredible name.
Gabriel.
I got shivers when you said that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Johnny, would you look at the camera there and do the same thing for us, please?
All right, so remind me the order.
Yeah, infuse some hope and encouragement into our
Give you
audience.
some hope and encouragement to the audience. All right. So I guess I would, if you were sitting here in front of me, at first I'd give you a big old hug around your neck. And then I would just encourage you that your design is intentional.
Yes.
And I mean both the strengths and the weaknesses. I think
Yes.
weaknesses is what people have the hardest time with. Is like, man, I'm a flawed dude. We are flawed people. But weakness is not sin, and weakness is not evil. There's a difference between the two, which I get into in the book. And so I would encourage people to be gentle with your weakness and to be gentle with your failure. Alan always says, be curious about it. And curiosity is a much more useful emotion than judgment and being critical of yourself.
Yes.
I'll just say God doesn't make mistakes in how he creates people and how he designs us. So learn that design and press into it.
Don't forget to pick up a copy of the Superpower Quest.
Superpower Quest.
There it
And
is.
superpowerquest.com is where you can find out more about the movement.
The movement.
Thank you.
And you, my friend.
All
Do
right.
the same thing for us.
Yeah. I don't even know what to share, but
Encourage the world.
yeah, I think suffering is an inevitability, and things are hard. Life gets hard and shitty sometimes, and it's okay. It's okay to talk about it.
Let it preach, man. Let it preach.
Let's talk about the pros in life. Let's talk about the beautiful moments in life, and it's okay to talk about the hard stuff too, and just kind of invite others into those conversations. And no, you're not alone in it. We're all going through something,
Yes, we
right?
That's our commonality. Isn't it?
Yes, it's human.
It is.
So even one of the lines in the book is to be lonely is to be human. Yeah, even just loneliness. So let's just talk about it and move closer to each other in the process, right? You could go to firenights.net and join the online community where people are actively supporting each other. They're talking about what's going on in their lives. There's daily check-ins, there's weekly check-ins, and there's also resources for starting your own Fire Nights. Firenights.net.
Firenights.net. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us today. What a way to start our Monday.
Yes.
Y'all go deep. Y'all go real
Yeah,
deep.
that's
I love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
So good.
Yes,
So
indeed.
good.
You are a part of the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa and the Be Encouraged community, where we are rebelling against the current culture and the things that culture tells us that we have to be. We refuse it, don't we?
Yep.
We do.
Every day, all day.
Every day, all day.
Yeah.
Listen, if you want to reach our audience, potential audience of almost 50,000 every week and growing. Go to beencouraged.net and become a sponsor for the show. Join the movement. Encourage Nation, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, we are hope dealers and we are here to help community find another way. All right,
Yes.
Lisa?
Thank you, everyone. Have a fabulous Monday, and we'll see you in a few minutes for our noon show.
Indeed.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Be Encouraged show with Lisa and
Frank, and we're so glad, Lisa. What a great day. We have 5 guests today on the second
busting
show.
at the seams to encourage the world.
How incredible is that? 5 very
Yes.
lovely human beings that have come on to be a part of Motivation Monday on the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa. Lisa,
Can I introduce the guests?
you want to introduce the guest?
I would love to.
Man, that first show
May I
was
have
off
the
the
honor?
chain.
It was.
Oh my word.
Y'all have some
You guys got a
competition,
lot.
man.
You guys gonna be jamming this show.
It
That
was
first show was off the chain.
fire.
Just
Y'all
like-
need to rewind
yeah.
it. It was, especially you.
Introduce them.
All right. So, all right, where shall we start first?
Whisper. She's our host.
Oh, she is, okay.
Yeah.
All right. This, to my right, centered here between these two amazing other ladies, is Whisper Mondragon. She is a native here in Colorado Springs.
What?
She-
Look at your autograph before you leave.
Yes. And she loves all the landscapes Colorado has to offer. She's passionate about serving children, families, and educators. She's always ready for an adventure. All right, get it.
Yeah.
And to my right here is Miss Carla Kite
Yes.
with retro form of Southern
Foam.
foam, retro foam of Southern Colorado. Sorry, I'm trying to read Frank's handwriting. Welcome, Carla.
Oh, me on
Yes.
that.
Of course. And then the beautiful Victoria Stoner here, her life's mission is to equip others to discover their God-given purposes in life and courageously step into them.
Woo!
Get it?
I love
Okay.
that
Nice.
purpose.
Yeah,
You
Victoria.
encourage me, girlfriend.
Yes, doing this today. And to my left here, I'm so excited. Let me just introduce her and then, but we had her on our Instagram live interview and she was phenomenal.
Yes.
So, Dr. Melinda Joy Mingo, she is a national author, 2023 honoree of 100 Women to Know in America. Yeah. And,
I know you.
and she is an international navigation coach, professor, and leads and teaches in Hanoi, Vietnam.
Yes.
Her life's mission is to equip others to discover their God-given purposes in life and courageously step into that.
That kind of sounds
Like
familiar.
this is and ordained. Yeah, I love this.
That wasn't yours?
No.
It wasn't? It is now.
You're owning it today. We answered you up, so yeah.
And I know you.
Yeah.
And that works for you.
Yes.
Yes, it does. Okay.
And last but certainly not least, we have Mr. Karthik Krishna. He is a globally recognized sustainability thought leader and a Sadhguru trained inner engineer. Oh, is this a little bit of woo-woo stuff, Frank?
We talked
to be working overtime on me now.
Okay, so he provides expert testimony to legislators and has given numerous professional talks on topics including sustainable lifestyles, energy systems, and modern defense landscapes. Currently, the founder and CEO of Colorado-based KKrish Energy. There's 2 Ks. So I didn't know if I had to. Is it like
KKrish.
So my initials are KK, and I just put that out there, but
Oh,
it's just
okay.
Krish Energy.
Krish Energy?
I'm glad you don't have 3 Ks on your
Yeah, me too. He probably would have taken it off. Okay, wait. Y'all need to let me get through this intro. Okay. So, Colorado-based KKrish Energy and also owns Space Gel. Is that like hair gel?
No, it's supposed to be a green lounge, actually, like a bar and lounge place.
Oh, a lounge.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that here locally?
It's still a concept we're working on.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome, exciting. And Voyages. Voyages,
Voyages.
Mission Concept. Sorry, I thought I was trying to pronounce it.
Lisa, you did such a great job because I thought there were so many things that were going to get butchered, but nothing did. So
Well, that's why he had me do it, this show. The last show is all American names and he's good.
We've had long conversations, so
Yes.
I've gotten him. You know, thank you first of all for being our panel host today. You're so amazing in our community. We love you here, what you do and who you are. But I'm not going to hold that all to myself. Would you tell them who you are?
Yes, Whisper, go for it.
So I'm Whisper and I'm with Unique Workplace and Unique Playplace. We are a service that solves problems for working families' needs, entrepreneur parents, freelancers, work from home parents. We provide co-working space and childcare. We will be coming to Colorado Springs this summer, June
Where are you now?
2024. So right now we're home-based. So
Oh,
we are
okay.
expanding. So
Oh,
right now, we currently operate out of home resident childcare, and we're expanding into a facility location.
Oh.
That is so
So we're
exciting.
gonna bring more licensed childcare space to El Paso County,
Good.
in addition to the co-working aspect for the parents.
I
yeah.
love that.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
it is
needed,
amazing.
yes.
Yeah, wait, but I'm back up a minute though, because you told me what you do,
Yes,
and
you
that's
did.
not what I asked you.
Yep.
Right,
Okay,
yeah, so we're gonna have to replay that,
Okay.
even though that was impressive.
Yes.
Yeah, no, who are you?
Who am I? I am the Colorado native. I'm the Colorado native.
Yes.
That's not many of us left. And I'm the adventure seeker, so I like to break rules.
You
So
do?
I'm a rule breaker.
I do too, I'm with you.
Yes.
Yeah, she really does.
Well, I do. I can get us in anywhere usually.
Oh, let's do it.
I have fun. If you ever need a plus one, right, Frank? I'm Go ahead, Whisper. Who are you?
And I am a child care advocate,
Are you married?
and I am married. So
Do you have any children?
no children.
No
One
children.
amazing husband, that makes up your children.
Does it? How long have you guys been married?
We've been married 4 years now.
4 years.
Yes, and we've been
Congratulations.
together over 9.
Man, people take so long to get married. these
Yeah, they
days.
do.
Yeah, if these had been the guys who were dating my kids, they'd probably be dead. You ain't taking 5 years to marry my girl,
Yeah.
right? You know, you hook it up or get out. I'm just saying, right? I'm gonna play that.
Do you have a large family? Are they here?
We do. So from my mother's side, we have a total of 12. So my mom was one of 12, and all of them are here in Colorado Springs still, except for a couple few. For my dad's side, no. So my dad is from Mexico, and most of his family is still in Mexico. We do have a little bit in Texas.
Yeah, 15 of us.
Here.
I'm number 2.
13, baby.
You're 15, you're the baby?
Yay.
Woo! Big families here, what I'm talking about.
Do you have siblings as well?
And I'm the only child.
Oh,
so.
Yeah, your mom says I ain't doing that.
Yeah, my mom is 1 of 12, so I'm 1 of 1.
Yes.
Yeah, you could have that vibe of being small. Right. It's got a small vibe.
She owns it too.
Just like this girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the baby too. But I'm 4, not.
And that girl. Carla, welcome.
Hi.
We are so glad I met you and your handsome husband
Thank
as
you.
well. Tell us a little bit about Carla Kite.
Well, Carla Kite is not a native, however, desperately in love with Colorado and plan to retire right here in Colorado Springs. It's just a wonderful community. We have rooted in
What brought you here?
work. So my husband and I now own the dealership here for retro phone installation. So to kind of, we're givers, doers, ministers, and so we feel that it is meeting basic needs to make people more comfortable, save energy consumption, get them some rebates, like we're advocates for that sort of thing.
Wait, before you.
She's pulling a whisper.
She
I'm
is,
sorry.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
passion.
You got a great.
Everyone leads with their business so comfortably.
I know. Yeah, please don't ask people about them, right? Because they
Alright.
go straight to their business. Tell about your husband though,
Oh,
meeting him, because that is what a story. Quickly. Tell
Yeah,
me.
so we were childhood sweethearts all through high school.
Where?
My husband.
I mean, from where? Like,
Louisiana,
Okay.
South Louisiana, close to New Orleans, so yes, I can cook that.
yeah.
But,
I can eat that.
I can too.
off and on, all the time, I wanted a whole bunch of children, possibly 15, he wanted absolutely none. So he ran away from me, ended up marrying a wonderful man, having 3 beautiful daughters of my own. And almost 30 years later, there was a tragic end to the marriage, and I'm like, I wonder where this first love could be. And I kind of threw his name out, and he was there. And once we connected, all downhill. We've been married almost 8 and together almost 10. Now, so
Yeah.
it's a
You know
fairy
what I
tale.
love about that story? That she boldly went out there.
Yeah.
I
What
did.
her first love
first
again.
love.
I stalked
Right?
him. I
Yeah.
stalked him like
Yeah.
a rabid teenager.
There's shame in her
I'm
game.
talking about boldly going where no woman has ever gone before. I better pull that back.
Well,
They're gonna charge
publicly.
me for that. Chris, yes, Karthik. Whew.
Just call me KK. My initials, that's easier too.
Okay. KK.
There you go.
Yeah, give us a little bit about your history, my friend.
Oh, history. Well, I turned 41 today, and it's just such an honor.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Same age as my son. Yeah.
Thank you. And on that note, like, I love my father, and I was saying this to Frank, but he knows I don't always listen to him as well. So I was telling him.
Just like my son.
Yeah. Typical kid. Yeah.
I've lived almost half my life in India. That was where I was born, and half in America. So I say I'm blessed that I got to see 2 very diverse cultures from very close ends. And I also be in the privileged place where I just pick the best of both worlds, so to speak. You know, and I don't think anything is perfect, and I get to pick the perfect from there.
Are you married?
I am not. So I am single, officially never married, and no kids, none that I'm aware of. Okay.
Well, we'll move the show right along. If I don't come back to you, you know what happens.
You know, it's time to talk to me. Being honest.
Right on. Melinda Joy. What a name, right? Have you ever seen a name personified anyone more than that? I mean, really, yeah. And everyone that knows you says the same thing.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about you.
I'm from Chicago.
But we won't hold that against you.
Oh, that's.
You had to be from somewhere,
I'm
right?
from Chicago by way of Vietnam, and I say that because I spent so much time in Vietnam teaching there and living there, and that's a little bit about me. I learned about joy in my life. I'll say I've learned through pain and all of the things I've gone through. I just learned so much about what joy and having the right perspective is.
Yes, you have. And you know what makes it so wonderful? You don't keep it to yourself.
Oh, I share.
It's
Yeah.
contagious.
Yes,
It's
you
great.
do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Victoria, you know I love you, right?
Yes, sir.
But what are you gonna ask me? My baby girl, Victoria Soda right here. Victoria, I mean, from the moment that I met you, I think it's been maybe 8-9 years ago.
About that, yes, sir.
Yeah, and you've always had this forward-looking perspective on life. You know you've gone through some stuff, girlfriend, right?
Yes.
Tell people a little bit about who Victoria Stone is.
Okay. Born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. I am the youngest of 15 children, as we said before. I've lost 10 of my siblings, so there's 5 of us left. I'm multifaceted. I'm a mother of 1, a grandmother of 4, 2 biological, 2 bonus. Let's see, I am an award-winning entrepreneur. I have been an advocate, a mentor, advocate, and counselor for adults, children, girls, and boys who have been rescued from sex trafficking since 2011. And that's the part of my life that keeps me up at night, honestly. But it's something I'm very passionate about. I'm very passionate about children. Prior to that, I still do career pathing and career mentoring for women who are coming out of abusive situations.
And how would you know about that?
I started out through Fort Carson. That is a part of my history. I am a former, I'm a survivor of abuse. And so I took that as part of my calling to bring women out of the places that I've been, who, you know, when I began my process of transformation, I really believe God told me that He would restore my life as if it never happened. And so when I look at people who've been through what I've been through and can't seem to come out, part of my mission is to help pull them out.
Yes.
And so I am a 2-time reigning queen, beauty queen. And I hate to say that, but it's true.
It's the truth.
Both nationally and internationally. And that's kind of who I am. But most of all, I am a minister of the gospel. I am in love, desperately in love with Jesus, and I share Him everywhere that I go.
When did you enter the beauty scene?
2000.
About when she was 3.
Were you a child?
I was not trying. I was actually almost 50 when I was approached to enter the
Almost
industry.
50?
Almost 50?
Like 50?
Yeah, I'm over 50 now. But
What?
so
Oh
I
my
won
God.
the international titles. The national title at 17 and the international title in 2008.
Wow, that is
Wow.
incredible.
Yeah.
Really? And you were 50?
I think I was 48. I was 48 at the time. I'm 50. I'll be 53 in a few months.
Same as you, right?
I'm 51.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's trying
Almost.
to age me, not you.
Almost.
See cute how he did that? The prior show, I was joking on his age. Right.
You see how many times she throws me under the...
He's just getting me
She
back.
just throws me under the age bus.
I'm very public about my age. I own it.
It's an honor to be able to grow.
It is, right?
That's right. Oh man, I was relishing that moment.
Yeah,
Thank you for throwing me that softball. Appreciate it. Oh, you having fun yet? Yeah.
We live for Mondays. This show is just
We have such a good time. You know, and we do love the things that you guys inject in community with your business. And we'll talk about that a little bit, but really the heart of this show is to infuse hope and encouragement into a community, right? And quite frankly, most people don't give a flip about your business. They don't, they don't. That's not creating space, but I do have a question for you. Because you say sustainability. I want people to understand, what does that mean, KK?
Wow. So I'll try to keep this concise as possible. The term sustainability, it basically meant we want to live a high quality of life and make sure our future generations are able to live a high quality of life when it's their time. That's basically a very broadly accepted sustainability view. And I've done a lot of research and interacted with a lot of international folks. There's just what I call hijacking of environmentalism and sustainability by the climate activism. And I'm not saying that there is right or wrong, but I'm just saying there's a difference between saying I want to limit carbon emissions versus saying I want a sustainable society. There's just a big difference. And I'm about doing sustainability right, doing environmental protection right instead of politicizing it.
Bam! Yeah!
You could say
yeah!
So wait, because that was really kind of high level, broad stroke, so dumb that down a little bit. 'Cause-
Like we're two.
Yeah.
So I was on a panel with House Representative Ken DeGraff. I'll tell you this, he's from Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
And he said this, we need to dumb it down to a politician's level.
Yeah.
So let's say this, let me put it this way. If you think about environmental protection, okay?
Right.
You say we want clean air, we want clean water, we want our land to be free of any toxic elements that we put on there. Okay, very high level. Now, if you think about the whole climate activism, and I'm not specifically using the word activism, it's like saying the world is warming, and they believe carbon dioxide, that's why you hear a lot of carbon neutrality. Carbon dioxide is a climate control knob, so if we go carbon neutral, we're not going to warm the planet. That's the gist of it. Mm-hmm. Now, when you have activists and politicians act as scientists, we have a problem. So if you interact with scientists, there's still questions in saying, is really carbon dioxide the control lever?
Absolutely.
So that's where I've investigated with a lot of folks. And what I say is, from a sustainability standpoint, using carbon dioxide as a metric is wrong. Let's use materials footprint, for example. Now let's say instead of saying how much carbon footprint I emit, how about what materials you use and how can we minimize that? Because you can emit whatever carbon emissions or not, but if you don't care about your materials footprint, we'll all be in like toxic landfills, so to speak. So that's a completely different approach. And I was telling this to Frank, we need diversity of views and we need the innovative ideas. It's just missing. It's all being hijacked by just climate activism right now.
I couldn't agree more.
Thank you. I usually don't get that, but thank you.
I could not agree more. Yeah. Whenever anything falls and becomes politicized, it becomes skewed. Yeah. Yeah, always. So that's why I'm not in the political arena. Right?
Yeah.
So what work are you doing right now? What are you bringing to the world that's just so much fun you just can't stand?
I believe that I'm really, I call myself a navigation coach that,
Napkin.
a napkin.
Yeah.
Tissue.
Tissue, yeah.
Do you need a tissue?
Yes.
What do I need one?
No.
I'm
just
anticipating you.
needs-
I'm anticipating you
Yeah.
crying.
What I'm doing is causing people to cry and they realize their purpose in life. Yes. But, so what I really do, I really feel my mission and calling is to help people find their ultimate path, if I can say that. And so I don't use life coach necessarily, I use mission coach. And so a colleague and I, we created a program for people to get employed in the green jobs industry, green construction and solar industry. We wrote a grant, or he wrote it, and so I created the program so that we could get people coming out of gang life and veterans, people who, non-traditional workers, to get involved and get a program and get training with value attached to it. And what I mean is that I really believe it's not what you serve, it's how you serve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, ooh, that's good.
Because we can create a lot of things, but my mission, and Lisa and Frank, my words are the value, worth, and dignity of all people.
Yes.
So all that I'm doing now, whether it's a professor, whether I'm overseas in Vietnam, or creating, sustainable job programs for people in the community, is all under the umbrella of the value, worth, and dignity of all the people.
Value, worth, and dignity of all the people. I love that. Whisper. You don't have to whisper. I know you never heard that before, right?
No. All of elementary.
Yeah. Tell us the value proposition for the business that you're doing right now in community. What is it going to help community? How?
So value propositions, I think the biggest one is making sure that we are a trustworthy place. So like she said, that we are someone that we can carry a high standard and reputation with families and communities, and that is the biggest value that we can set forward, especially in the industry that we're in. And then from there, everything facets from there. So our enrichment programs that come from there, or more holistic approach of being able to have your child nearby and not having to, you know what I mean, add another 45 minutes in your commute or 30 minutes in your commute, and being there to, you know what I mean, whether it be breastfeed or just check in at lunchtime, those sorts of things that you don't see in the typical childcare settings.
Yeah. Such a practical approach.
It really is.
Why did you, what was it that happened in life that made you say, oh, we need this?
I think it goes back to my early learning years. So as I was singing and resonating with Lisa that I was a rule breaker, a lot of educators didn't know how to really deal with the rule breakers in the classroom. So, you know what I mean, I had the label of being a bad child, a child that, you know what I mean, had to go to the principal's office, a child that couldn't sit still for too long, a child that said whatever she wanted when she wanted. So all of those facets, I think, grew to the passion to make sure that we really are individualizing things and taking it from that aspect of every child is not the same and they deserve respect just like the ones that are molded the same or that would fit into an institutionalized situation. So I'm trying to de-institutionalize childcare settings. So that's why it's a more of a holistic approach to learning and being in community and being with families.
Yeah. So pain created a purpose, didn't it?
Absolutely.
Always does. Always does. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, you old rule breaker.
I never went to the principal's office though. Yeah, I'm the one that.
You were sneaky about
Yeah,
it.
pretty smooth.
I
I was smooth.
I'm still feeling that. Working with you. Yeah, so. Well, I'm glad she's my little sister instead of someone else's, man. I'm telling you. Carla,
Yes, sir.
you know, Retrophone, there's more of a mission surrounding this than there is just an opportunity to make money. Tell people why.
Yes, well, we started in this, my husband was in mortgages, real estate, all of that, and he was helping a gentleman who ran a different company's franchise in the similar industry. He said, I really need you to come do this. I think you would be excellent. And he's like, you think I'm gonna do insulation after I've been in money for so long? Let's just try it. So we got in, fell in love with the product and saw what it did, but the creator of this whole entire foam, the special foam, found out about Tim and seeked him out. So after about a year and a half, we transitioned. We found this, the creator, that company was full of integrity, customer service, didn't just push for sale. You kind of became a family member. Your customers became kind of a family member. It's not just a sale and forget. And that just hits with our spirit because, you know, we're Christian and we believe in operating under a high level of integrity also. So
Wish all Christians did.
well,
I thought I
we
put
all
that in
could
for free.
improve. We're working on it. But no, when someone calls us, what we want to do is dispel the typical contractor bad rep. Because, you know, they don't show up or they don't do what they say or they're very pushy or they're talked down about their competitors and none of that is conducive to proper anything. So we're creating, you know, we're listening for how we can meet a need rather than pushing a sale.
Yeah.
Because that ends up, you know, Tim has even gotten 5-star reviews for not selling when it wasn't a good fit for the customer. So, and Retrofoam's mission, I think, is sustainability in its own self. It's a green, plant nitrogen-based, water-based product that doesn't off-gas. So it's a little bit different than the new construction foam, which is great stuff. However, we are fixing a home that's already built, making it more comfortable. reducing the energy footprint, saving people money, and like right now, you can't go to the grocery store hardly, so anything we can shave off.
Yeah.
And we feel that that's a ministry, and we're making great friends while we're doing it. So,
Awesome. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yes.
thank you.
That
We
is-
have fun.
Might as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. What are you infusing into the world these days?
Infusing into the world, wow. Dr. Melinda Joy said something to me many years ago, that your pain has a mission attached to it. She says that all the time. And I knew that, but she put it to words for me, right? So I really feel like one of my missions in life is to bring people into their purpose. As she was saying, the things that I've been through in my life, you would never know it. I sat across from a military doctor over 20 years ago with a face that looked like I had been in a Holyfield fight. Eyes split open, black and blue everywhere, and he didn't report it. I would call the commanders over and over again, trying to get help, and then follow up the following day, and they wouldn't have any record that I called. And so that's the experience that I had. And so from that, that began my service to military women coming out of abusive situations with soldiers and things like that. And so that kind of really catapulted me into what I do today. It started out with battered women, and now it's children and all those things. But my main, I guess, bread and butter, you should say, is the oncology side of what I do. I staff doctors who treat cancer for hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. But I don't talk about that much because that is what aids me to do things that I do in the community, right? And so just, I believe in being a huge advocate for children. I fight for children because they don't have a voice. And things like that. And so just, I just allow the things that I've gone through and how God has transformed my life to bring transformation into the lives of others, whether it's a child, a woman, believe it or not, little boys are also heavily trafficked in the sex trafficking industry. And it's happening right next door to you. We just recently rescued a young woman out of Peyton. I won't go into it, but it's right in your backyard.
It is.
And so providing education about child sex trafficking is something that I'm a very strong advocate for, and what I do in the community as well.
Yeah, I'm the chairman of the board of directors at CASA.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know, that space and the kids that are in the system and things, probably some of the same kids you deal with, we deal with as well in the system. So thank you very much for having a heart for our kiddos.
Were you active duty or were you a spouse?
I was a spouse of a soldier, yes.
Like you.
And those women, they don't get the help, especially if you're a good soldier. They're going to protect you no matter what you do. You literally have to commit murder for them to actually prosecute. And so thank God I survived.
Yeah, you need to have coffee with her. My friend, you are a brilliant young man, first of all. And I can say brilliant because you are the same age as my boy. And getting to know you, in all transparency, he's reached out to me to be on his board of advisors as well for his startup company. And
not that he's saying yes.
He already did.
Oh, did you say yes?
He said yes.
Yes. We're trying to clear his Frank Sinclair.
I was gonna say, you're live, Frank. You're live.
I'm live, it's not Memorex. It's not, yeah.
People don't know what Memorex is.
Sure my age again.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're doing fine work, and I just want you to tell people, it's kind of, you kind of got a lot of stuff going on, dude, right? Yeah, so, Voyages, what is that?
On Voyages, it's about creating blissful lifestyles, and a lot of that involves, focusing on your holistic wellness. And
Are you on the board for that?
Yeah. Well, he's
Is
part
that
of the
the board?
parent company.
Okay.
And
No bliss.
yeah, I feel like I've experienced this myself. Therein a lot of efforts, even for wellness, it's on the superficial level. It's the physical wellness or fitness. You know, how we can smile and be confident all the time, all on a superficial level. But you really want to work on your inner self. And that's what my inner engineering training from Sadhguru comes from as well. And so I've spent a significant amount of time in research, traveling around the world and all this, and I just want to create easier pathways for others to just embrace it. So that's basically what I just planned.
And one of the things that I thought was most incredibly interesting was that, you know, with the onslaught of cannabis and all of those things that really is trying to create the same thing, right? Bliss, baby. Fired up.
You know, Frank, I will say this. I was in Atlanta airport from a retreat just a couple of weeks ago. And in the airport, they have this real fancy store, and it's a model wellness, and they were basically selling cannabis products. And for me, they are my direct competitors. Because what I offer is non-substantive solutions, so to speak. So I offer clean alternatives to more blissful lifestyles. And so, I mean, sometimes a lot of these substances, psychedelics and other things can be good crutches, you know, when you're healing from something and all this. But I would want you to walk by yourself instead of being on a support system all the time. So Voyages, basically, I position myself as the clean, blissful wellness solutions, not substance-based.
Nice.
So.
That's good.
I wanted to bring that out. We'll throw that in for free. Well, I don't know, I may bill you for that one. That was awesome. You know, our show here at Melinda Joy is about infusing hope and encouragement into our community. Yeah, this guy is setting up a camera right there for you to look into, and it is your turn to do that for our client, for our audience.
I would love to. I want to earnestly and authentically say to you that your pain really does have a mission attached to it, and it's not just a phrase that I created. It's from the perspective that nothing is wasted in your life. We sometimes, when we look at things we've gone through, you know, sometimes shame and identities get flawed, but I want to encourage you that one thing no one can take from you is your lived experiences. They may take your wallet, your purse, whatever. They can't take what you've gone through. And just always know, sometimes when people say, would you want to go back through that? Well, maybe not. You might not want to go back through it, but remember this here, it has made you and it has fashioned you to be the person that you are today. And that's the reason why I believe you all. I look at my own life of homelessness and a husband dying of cancer a few months after moving into this state here and all the other things in life. And the thing that I realized, I'm a believer and my faith is important, but I also believe this here is that you have to break out of shame. So my words to you today are shame off you.
Shame off you, baby!
So good.
Shame off you.
Shame on you.
Not shame on you, shame off you. I dig that. Isn't that awesome? That was so good, Carla, you get to follow it up.
Well, I guess if I had to give a word, if you need assistance, look for someone who can meet a need. That isn't going to inflate an issue for you. You're pretty savvy people, and there are honest people out there who really are looking for your better interest. Don't fall for the gimmicks. There's so much of that out there, and the noise. We would love to serve you in meeting a need and not take advantage of you. So if you're looking for, integrity, you can give Retrofom a call. And if we're not the solution, we will help you find a solution for that.
And how do they call you?
You can call 719-749-9276, or you can go to our website, retrofomsoco.com.
retrofomsoco.com. Whisper. Don't whisper.
So if I am pushing a word out there, would be positive, be encouraged, be inspired. When I started the dream of expanding my child care, I ran into many, many failures, and I would go back to my vision board and I would try again. And it wasn't until I expanded the positive horizon and the positive mind frame and looking at the glass as half full instead of half empty that the vision actually began to unfold and it began to come to life, and a lot of things started moving so quickly from there. So if I can put any word out there from Unique Workplace or Unique Play Place, is just be positive, be inspired, be encouraged, be authentically you, but don't give up.
And how do they reach out to you?
So we can be located at 3958 North Academy Boulevard. Drive by and see our coming soon signs located right next to Dark Wars. But social media as well. So we have Instagram, Unique Workplace, and then we also have Facebook for Unique Play Place.
Play Place.
Thank you, Ms.
Right on. You're so awesome.
Not as awesome as this shit.
That's true. I didn't want to throw that in for free. Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Shame off me.
Shame on you.
Victoria, encourage our people.
Okay, the first thing that comes to mind when I think encourage, I think in a world where everyone is so set on me, it's all about me, what can I get? It's all about my problems, my issue, my this, my that. My answer to that is to be a solution for someone else, right? And so if you can, even if it's just a smile, you know, just a stranger, smiling at a stranger, you never know what someone is dealing with.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, walking through the store one day and I just simply said hi to a woman and we were having a conversation and then something said, ask her, can you pray for her? And she was probably in her 70s, you know, and I just said, can I pray for you? And this woman literally sank in my chest. Like I went to hold her hand and she sank in my chest. So it's looking for those opportunities to be a solution for someone is kind of how I try to live my life. And so if I can encourage anyone today would be that solution. Not saying that you're out trying to be Jesus for somebody or trying, it's not about that.
Yes.
But you just never know what someone needs. You know, letting a child know, I care about you. Someone cares about you. If you need someone to talk to, call me. You know, those kinds of things. So that's kind of my word of encouragement today. Be a solution for someone else.
Be a solution for someone
I love
else.
it. I know it's not my turn, but can I say one quick thing?
Yeah.
Really quick, that a lot of times the pain that you're experiencing is usually the pain that you're called to step into and bring the solution.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. You know, one real quick antidote to that is that coming out of homelessness myself, I knew that experience meant that I was brought into the experience so that I could bring out a solution for someone else. So last 25 years I've spent mentoring men coming out of Springs Rescue Mission out of homelessness and addiction.
Yeah.
Right? You come out so you can go in.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, yeah. Do you want people to reach you? Do you want to give them any contact information?
Sure. They can reach me my email is excellenceconsulting1@outlook.com. So spell it out, excellenceconsulting1@outlook.com. Or if you want my number as well.
Sure.
They can reach me at 720.
Guys, get ready for this.
Are you single?
Can we answer the question, please?
I would say but my answer to that would be if a suitor wants to know my status, then he is welcome to ask.
What I'm talking about. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Yes, do that right on out. Yeah. Finish that number. Praise God.
So I get my,
You ain't open to that, huh?
No.
Is that what you said? You ain't
I
open?
didn't say anything. I was repeating her number, just in case they needed it.
You could start like a bachelorette show.
We've already done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We opened
We
it
have
up.
over 350 guests this year so
Yeah.
far, right? And trust me, we've thrown some people out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably some people married because of you and I.
Listen, I know.
Right.
Commission all day. Did everyone give an encouragement?
He needs to
No,
give an
you're-
encouragement.
Yes.
What am I supposed to give? Like,
Yeah, something of hope and encouragement to our audience.
I'll say this. I met Frank last week when I gave a pitch at Exponential Impact for my business. And I'll say my experience was, I looked at him, there was something about him, I just wanted to reach out, admire, and respect him. There was something about him. He asked me some tough questions, I'll tell you that in front of the crowd. But after that, after our follow-up conversations, he just said, "You're a brilliant guy, I want you to succeed." That is just a huge impact, you know? There are a lot of people that I meet, I connect with, they're very influential, they have access to a lot of things and all this. But if you're not authentic, and if you can genuinely say, "I think highly of you and I want you to succeed," doesn't matter. But Frank did that for me, and that's why I'm here. So I think, thank you.
That is great.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
How can they reach you? Sorry, we're all like, oh,
I'm gonna put him on the spot right now. My new interim advisory board member, Frank Sinclair.
Yeah.
Reach out to him for connections.
That is great.
Indeed. Yeah, did you?
Did I want to get more?
No, you want some info to give out?
Oh, sure. You can reach me on LinkedIn and message me on LinkedIn, so I'm able to respond faster on there.
Just your name?
How are you?
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. My first name is Melinda Joy, one word. My last name is Mingo. Or you can email me at, you may not remember this, it's mjmingo@significantlifechange.com.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. When I say that, man, it makes me want to just hit a beat off MJ Mingo.
Yeah.
Go, Frank, go, Frank, go, Frank.
All right.
I was dancing almost like a white person there. Let me throw that back.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, all right.
You ready?
Well, our time is already at a close here, so we gotta just do a quick wrap up.
Yes, yes.
And of course, we cannot forget our amazing sponsors. So Crescio, our friend Joshua Aguirre, is passionate about uplifting the Southeast. And when you partner with his company, you will learn how to automate your sales funnel using tools like ChatGPT. So visit them at crescio.com to learn more. And Westco Insurance, Ms. Karen Butcher, love her. She loves helping people save money and get the best service ever. And if you want to get more leads for your business, anyone? Obviously, we all do. So go ahead and visit us at beencouraged.net to become a sponsor and get your business name out there to our growing audience. We're almost at a reach of 50,000 and growing.
Every week, yes.
Yeah, very excited about that. And with our live Instagram going around the world, need introductions to amazing humans around the world. So our platinum sponsor, as a side note, has seen an aggressive 900% growth in their business in just 7 months.
Wow.
So like and follow us if you have not already done so on Facebook, LinkedIn, subscribe to us on YouTube, Be Encouraged with Frank and Lisa to join us on our journey to extend hope and encouragement and help people realize their potential through networking, collaboration, and community involvement.
It's awesome working with you.
It is fabulous work.
Yes, this is the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa every Monday, bringing hope and encouragement to you through our wonderful guests that we get to have the opportunity to talk to on the show. If you want to be a guest, go to beencouraged.net. Come on. And not only the opportunity for exposure for your business, but also to encourage people in a world that is in desperate need of encouragement right now. We love you guys. We thank you for joining us. We'll be back next Monday. You'll be here?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back next Monday. Yeah, her husband was taking her somewhere, so I
No,
had to
that's
check
not
in.
till next Friday.
Oh, okay, next Friday, okay.
Memorial weekend, you're not gonna be here that following Monday,
I'm
but
not.
next Monday we're here.
Yeah. Next Monday, we are here again. Lisa, the great one, Senate, and the old dude, Frank Sinclair, being here to bring encouragement and hope to you guys. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you.